Hi guys, it's Splash and Crash here, back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at a Bleacher Report article that was released today called Simple NBA Trades That Could Change Everything. So, yeah, it looks like there's 5 trades, and the first trade is Miami adds Victor Oladipo, and yeah, so, right off the bat, this seems like a good trade, at least for Miami, because they add another really good defensive player who is a decent playmaker and has the potential to be like a star caliber player. And they don't really have to give up much. Like Kendrick Nunn does have some value, but he's just a cap filler, and KZ Opala pretty much has the value of a second-round pick. So yeah, not much value that they have to give up, and they add a player that has the potential of being a star level player. But for the Pacers, I would not do this trade. Kendrick Nunn, he can be good, but Victor Oladipo is I think you would value him as like a borderline all-star, and I don't think Kendrick Nunn is enough value for a borderline all-star, because Iggy would have no value to them, and KZ Opala, like I said, has the value of a second-round pick. So overall, I would do this for Miami, but if Miami threw in an extra pick or two, I think that would actually I think then Indiana would consider it, but right off the bat, I don't think this is a good trade for Indiana. So overall, it is not that realistic of a trade, unless Miami were to throw in another asset or two, because it's Victor Oladipo, so I don't think they would mind doing that. So next we have Jrue Holiday going to Denver, and yeah, I really like that fit. So let's see what they have to give up. They have to give up Gary Harris, Bol Bol, PJ Dozier, and 2 top 5 protected first-round picks. So for Denver, I would definitely do this, because Jrue Holiday, he's just a perfect player with and he's like a borderline all-star caliber player. He would fit in well with their offense, and he would also help their defense a lot. Jamal Murray was very improved in the playoffs, but Michael Porter is still a bad defender. So I think this would really be a good trade for Denver. And for the Pelicans, this is also a good trade. They add 2 more picks. They had PJ Dozier, who is actually low-key kind of good in the playoffs, and he could be something decent for Pelicans, but he's really not what this trade is about. So yeah, they had 2 more picks. Gary Harris, he could be a starting caliber player. He used to have all-star potential, and maybe a change of scenery can help him get back to that. But he's just going to be a nice two-way starting point shooting guard. And then Bol Bol. So Bol Bol could either just be a regular starting level player, but he also has star potential, and I really like the fit with him next to Zion. If Zion can get in shape, then Zion would become an insanely good defender, because that's what Zion was at Duke. He was an amazing defender. Right now, he's a horrible defender due to him not being in shape. But yeah, Bol Bol, he would be really nice on the defensive side. He provides a lot of length. He would also help out with Zion's size disadvantage. I mean, Zion really doesn't struggle much, even though he's much smaller. But yeah, Bol Bol would just add another really tall player to that team, and offensively, he could be a really good floor spacer, and that's another alley-oop target for Alonzo Ball. So yeah, maybe you could make the argument that Denver has to throw in another second or something. But actually, if I was Denver, I would do this team, and if I was New Orleans, I would also do this trade. So yeah, this trade is a good one. Next, we have Blake Griffin to Golden State. So, okay, so the Warriors, they trade down to pick 7, and they and they swap Wiggins and Blake Griffin. And the Pistons trade Blake Griffin for Wiggins and move up to... Okay, so... this is a bit of a gamble, but this is another good trade. So right now, Bleacher Report is 2 for 3 on good trades, which is generally more than what they usually do. So yeah, so for Golden State, Wiggins, he doesn't you could I think maybe Golden State should give Wiggins a chance, but I can see why you wouldn't. And yeah, so if Blake Griffin is what he was before his injury, which I don't really know if he can be that, but I think he could at least be somewhat close. He'll add another playmaking big next to Draymond Green, and then the passing of that team would just be taken to a whole nother level. It's already an elite passing team, but with Blake Griffin and Draymond and Steph Curry, yeah, the playmaking would be insane. He would also provide more slashing, and he is a good 3-point shooter, and he can be a really good 3-point shooter. So yeah, then you would have a small ball team with either Blake Griffin or Draymond at the 5. And overall, I would do that trade for Golden State. So at that pick 7, so well, let's see. So with the first overall pick, Timberwolves either take Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be more Anthony Edwards due to LaMelo Ball not doing that well at the draft workouts. Then at pick 2, the Pistons get either Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball, probably LaMelo Ball. And yeah, so that's really good for the Pistons. Also, yeah, I forgot. So for the Pistons, yeah, they trade up. It doesn't matter who they give up. They got to trade up, and that's all that really matters for them. Yeah, so at pick 2, the Pistons, they take whoever didn't get drafted number 1 overall, in Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball. Pick 3, the Hornets take probably James Wiseman, but there is a small chance they take Onyeka Okongwu. But if James Wiseman's on the board, I think they'd probably go with him. Pick 4, the Bulls would take Denny Avdija, or yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Pick 5, the Cavs would probably at that point take Isaac Okoro, or maybe Obi Toppin. But Isaac Okoro would fit better with his defense. Then at pick 6, the Hawks would take Tyrese Halliburton or Isaac Okoro, depending on who the Cavs took. But yeah, so then with pick 7, then Golden State, they'd probably want a wing. So, and actually, they really like Denny, so I could actually see Golden State trade up to pick 4 after they trade down with Eric Paschall or something, and take Denny, or they could actually. So then next year, because they would need a 3, so maybe they would take a point guard and have so they would maybe take Killian Hayes at pick 7 because he can run the 2, or actually they would probably take Devin Vassell, who is a really good defender and is a really good shooter, and to run the 3, which would be really nice. But yeah, if Golden State could somehow trade up with the Bulls and take Denny, I think they would, because they really like Denny apparently. And yeah, so yeah, overall I think this trade is a W for both teams. And for the 4th trade, we have Phoenix gets Chris Paul. Okay, yeah, so right off the bat for Phoenix, they only have to give up Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre, and I know Kelly Oubre was really good, but Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, those are their 2 forwards, and Kelly Oubre doesn't really fit in. They went 8-0 with Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson, so I expect them to keep those 2. So yeah, in this trade, so I think they maybe would have to give up pick 10. For OKC, like, I don't really know, because Rubio wouldn't really have much value to them. I don't know. Like, Kelly Oubre, yeah, I really like that with OKC. That adds another really good player next to Shea, because they are going to trade Chris Paul this offseason, and adding, like, a player like Kelly Oubre to help build around Shea would be a really good idea, but I think the Suns would have to throw in, like, pick 10, because Rubio has no value to the Thunder, because they're going to start a rebuild, but I don't, like, this trade is decent, but because the thing is, Chris Paul is 35. Like, if the Suns make this trade, they would really be contending for a playoff spot, and they would probably make the playoffs. And yeah, so like, the Suns, they aren't gonna get. So you know what? I don't think the Suns would have to throw in, like, pick 10, but maybe like their pick next year or something like that. Yeah, so the Suns would have to throw in another pick, not necessarily pick 10, but just another pick, because, like, Chris Paul, like, even though he is 35, he does have, like, a bit of value. Definitely more than just Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre. So yeah, I think the Suns would also have to throw in a pick for that trade, but overall, I think that trade's, like, good for Phoenix and decent for OKC. So yeah, next we have a Gordon Hayward for Rudy Gobert trade. So yeah, right off the bat, like, I have seen this trade before, and, like, if you just think pure fit and you remove the names, I think this is really good for both teams, and they should both definitely do it. But then, like, would Utah want Gordon Hayward back? I don't really know, but yeah, let's assume that they want Hayward back. This is a really good trade, and I would like this. I would recommend it for both teams. So yeah, the Celtics get Rudy Gobert and 2 salary fillers, and the Jazz get Hayward, who is a borderline all-star type player, who isn't at the same level he used to be, but is pretty close to it. They add a good, like, decent center at the 5 position. And they get 2 first-round picks in this year's draft, pick 14 and pick 26, as well as a 2023 top 3 protected pick. So yeah, with this, the Celtics, right now, a lot of people already have them as contenders, because everyone thinks Jason Tatum is going to take a big jump, and I also think that. And this would really push them to, like, that next level, because they'd have, like, a center who could guard Anthony Davis or Jokic or Embiid and can give Giannis some trouble, which is, like, that's their biggest need right now. They would lose some depth, but they would at least keep this year's pick. And I think they would sign Isaiah Thomas. Like, I really want them to sign Isaiah Thomas. I think that would be really cool, and he would just fit really well back with Boston. He's shown interest in returning to Boston. I think the fans would love it. So yeah, like, if Utah is okay with taking back Hayward after he left them, I think both teams would definitely do that trade. But, like, we don't know if they would. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. I agree with 3 of these trades, like 3.5 of them. This Suns trade, I don't really know about it. Like, it makes sense, but I think the Suns would have to throw in a bit more than just Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre. But yeah, anyway, so that's it. So be sure to subscribe, hit the like button. There's a very good chance that I do get a next-gen console very soon, so I might start uploading 2K videos again. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm also working on a 30 subscriber special, which will come out in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's it for this video. Bye.